Yo, what's up? Thought I'd make a quick thing showing you what is in my studio. So I've had this place for almost a year now, and it's only recently that it's properly started coming together because I tour so much that I don't actually get to spend that much time here. And when I do spend time here, I'm like work, 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 work. So it was just kind of this space where I was dumping all my shit, and as long as I had a good pair of speakers and a good sounding room, that was all I needed. But recently, I've been finishing the project of the studio and putting the final touches in so that I can actually have people here and it's a nice space to hang out. So let's begin. Welcome to my studio. I need a wider lens for this, don't I? So as you can see, I've got quite a lot going on in quite a small space. I mean, the room's like 4 by 5 meters, which is not small. But first thing, these beautiful PMC monitors, they sound incredible. And when you crank them really loud, it can feel like you're in a club. And for someone who makes club music like me, what is better than that? For real, what is better than that? Next important thing, audio interface, Universal Audio. I don't know exactly which one this is, but it's one of the new ones. I love Universal Audio interfaces because even when I had a much smaller studio and a home studio and all that, I've always used Universal Audio interfaces. I remember when I got my first one, and and I had like a $100 interface, and then I upgraded to a Universal Audio interface, and I was like, whoa! Same set of speakers and everything, but it felt like I'd unlocked a new level in the music. Everything just sounded great, and Universal Audio is good. Always just works for me, so that's good. I've got these cool Furman. These are power conditioners, so basically makes sure that the power is a perfect source when it comes through to everything else that's plugged in. Now I'll tell you a story about these. For the longest time, I didn't know that they had these cool lights on them, so I just had one of them just there like that, running all my expensive shit into it. And then one day I was like, "What the fuck are these things even doing?" Thought they were like EQ or some shit. And then I was like, "Oh shit!" Right? Discovered that they do that. So then I bought another one to go on the other side. It's really extra, I know, but I really like it. I bought this. I still haven't wired it in, but it's literally like old school graphic EQ. I was like, yeah, that'll be cool. Another audio interface. This is for the second computer. I have a studio computer for when I'm running live streams, and also just for monitoring what I'm doing outside. But I will get to that. Next thing, I've got this Korg Minilog, which is really cool. I only got it recently, and I'll be honest with you, I not a big user of outboard gear. I use this as a MIDI controller predominantly, but also I like having the ability to use the sounds in it. Like, I mean, it's fun to just play with some synth knobs every once in a while, you know. It's all good. So yeah, that's nice because it's on my desk. I do have a bigger keyboard underneath, but I do prefer the desk one. I bought this Behringer Fake 909. I'm gonna be honest, only turned it on a couple of times. It's it's not even plugged in, is it? It's a steep learning curve, and I gave up. Gonna keep it 100. Maybe one day I'll use it. I was playing with some of the sounds, recording them into Ableton, and they're great sounds. Do I have the patience to learn how to use that? Maybe one day. I've got this cool monitor controller. Is that what it's called? It's a passive monitor controller. So the idea is the audio comes out of the interface through this to the monitors, and then you've got your woo, and you've got a second pair of monitors on there as well. These aren't actually plugged in. I have these here from my old studio, and I really like these small focals. I've always been a focal guy. I had some big focals in my old studio, and when I got these small ones, I was like, "Yo, these are sick!" And actually, the first place I ever used them was in Pirate Studios, where they had the small focals, and I was like, "Wow, I love these speakers." Got some at home, and I have some in my apartment in Vegas as well. So it's like they're a bit of a reference monitor for me. Unfortunately, something's wrong with these pair, and they don't actually work right now, so that's why they're not plugged in. But with this, I could have those running on output 2, and that's ideally what I want. The other nice thing about this is I've got a mono button and a dim button, so I can reference in mono straight away when I'm mixing. I've got my mic here, SM7B, I believe. That's for when I'm streaming. Sorry, this shot's awful, but it's on an arm, so when I'm streaming, I can talk to people without leaving my desk. I've got a light for the exact same purpose. Let me switch that on. I think it's just the Elgato one. Come on. It's like the hardest switch to find ever. There you go. It's bright as fuck. For some reason, when you turn it on, it does that, and then goes off and then back on again. Give it a second. Hey! So yeah, that's when I'm streaming. That's my setup there. Microphone and light. I'll leave it on. Why not? Next thing to talk about, what's under the desk? I don't even fucking know. Hang on, let me actually pull this out. Give me a second. So under the desk, we've got this Arturia keyboard. Not sure why I bought this one. I use Arturia software sometimes, not my favourite. Something sold me on this keyboard. But I'm going to be honest, don't really use it. I use that one. That's just what works best for me. I got the classic Studio Herman Miller chair. This one was actually a second-hand one. You can buy them reconditioned, so if you're looking for a good studio chair, these can be like $1,000 new, but you can get a used one for like $400 in like great condition. So if you're going to be sitting in the same spot all day, you got to think about that. I've got a plant. Tita named him Stewie for studio because he lives in the studio, obviously. This is an old hard drive with some really old projects on from like 2017 and shit. Super fun to go through. This is a trophy that 1001 Tracklist gave me for being the 6th biggest producer of last year, which is crazy. This is a Mac Mini, super basic entry level one, and that runs the studio computer. Essentially what I'm doing with this, I saw someone that I worked with had this set up where, so if I play something on the main computer now, you can see it's all running through here. And I've got my separate trackpad for the studio computer, and I can sort of analyze the signal as it comes in. You've probably heard me saying this before. I'm a waveform guy. I love seeing waveforms, and I can do that on the main computer, but it means I'd have to keep opening and closing the plugin to show the waveform. So when I can get it on the computer in the background, that's like a dream, and I use it all the time. I just stare at fucking waveforms. People will probably tell you that's not the right way to produce. Now, some people might be thinking, why don't you have a big screen? You know, like everyone's like, how big's your screen? I'm like, do you know what? I spend so much time making music on planes, in hotels. My flow is fastest on that. I use the trackpad, I use the keyboard, and I just sit there hunched over it like that. So I don't need an external screen. I don't think it speeds me up at all. And if I did get used to it, then I'd hate it when I didn't have it. And I'm out of the studio more than I'm in the studio, if that makes sense. Another cool thing I've got this USB-C cable running into you see that under there? The CalDigit box. Now, I swear by those CalDigit boxes. I've had like 4 or 5 of them in the past decade, and they're amazing because you can run all of your shit into that box, and then by one cable, you just connect your computer. So it's charging and it's running the whole studio off that one cable, which is just really nice when you walk in here and go, boom, it's in. We are in. All right, going over here, we've got the DJ table, which at one point was in the middle of the room. And it was good for DJing, but shit for everything else. So there was no floor space in the room. So I've moved it to one side. I can still access it, and it is still plugged into the monitors and the computer at the back if I was to stream something. And then I've got this cool like storage wall here with all these. I've got Peli cases for like every piece of equipment. Got the new Pioneer mixer under there. And it was all, a couple of weeks ago, if you'd have seen the studio, it was just like stacked on the floor, boxes stacked up. The sofa wasn't here. So another sofa's here, it's good. Invite people around. Oh, microphone here as well. This is actually Tita's mic. She's got that expensive mic because she's a vocalist. So that lives here, even though it's not mine, but I use it sometimes without her knowing. So don't tell her that. Fuck, what else is there? I've got this desk. Look how cool my desk is. It's made by a company called Studio Desk. I don't know if you can see that, but there you go. Studio Desk. Fucking love the desk. Because I never had like a proper studio desk before. So when I got this place, I was like, yeah, first things first. I'm going to get a crazy desk. So I had an old studio like 10 miles from here. And when I set it up, I was on IKEA budgets, you know. So I had the IKEA table, IKEA chair. So when I got this place, I was like, all right, we're going to do the next level, get the crazy desk. And it felt really good, you know. So yeah, I think that is the tour of my studio, and I want to end this video with a bit of information for everyone who's a producer, everyone who wants to be a producer. None of this shit matters. None of this shit matters. Do you know what matters? Two things. Laptop and your brain. That's literally it, because I've made some of my best music on a pair of headphones, on a plane. Doesn't matter what headphones they are. Sometimes I use Apple ones. Sometimes I'll use these fucking Beyerdynamic ones, whatever. I've made some of my best music in Pirate Studios. I made Lose Control, the whole track, in Pirate Studios on a pair of little focal speakers. All that matters is the ideas that are in there, getting them out. And all of this is just a luxury. Promise you that. Thanks for watching. Oh, also, don't forget, jameshype.com/store. I've made sample packs of all of my biggest records, all the samples that I used when I was making them. So check that out. There's actually a free one on there as well. Go and have a look. Thank you. Bye.